Good day. I'm reading this CNBC article called Alex Jones' 5 Most Disturbing and Ridiculous Conspiracy Theories. Could it be true that there's chemicals in the water that are turning frogs gay? Well, seems like University Berkeley is proving that to be a truth, not a conspiracy. The difference between a conspiracy theory and a conspiracy fact is usually a couple of years. Well, in this case, this was said back in 2010, and now we're seeing that maybe he was onto something. Chemicals in the water are turning frogs gay. One of Jones' most notorious conspiracy theories is the government is using chemicals in order to turn people gay, using a mysterious gay bomb devised by the Pentagon. The reason there's so many gay people now is because it's chemical warfare operation. And I have the government documents where they say they're going to encourage homosexuality with chemical so that people don't have children, he said on his broadcast in 2010, according to the NBC News. So, gay bomb, that's really interesting. I want to say something right off the bat is Alex Jones has been right about so many things. And when he says he has documents about this, I believe him. This guy has said so much truth and conspiracy theories that end up being truth. I can't wait to investigate these other 4 ridiculous conspiracy theories to see how true they are too. Well, first of all, gay bomb devised by the Pentagon. Let's just take a look at this. Exposed by the Sunshine Project through a Freedom of Information Act request, said that they were using laboratories speculated about producing the theory involves discharging sex pheromones over enemy forces in order to make them sexually attracted to each other. So, okay, this was an actual serious thing that they were looking at investigating that was exposed. Well, what about the chemicals in the water making frogs gay? Well, this is a totally different thing, right? Well, check this out. Pesticide, atrazine, can turn male frogs into females. This is Berkeley News, okay? UC Berkeley. Atrazine, one of the most worldwide used pesticide, wreaks havoc with the sex lives of adult male frogs, emasculating 3/4 of them and turning 1 in 10 into females, according to a new study by University of California Berkeley biologists. The 75% that are chemically castrated are essentially dead because of their inability to reproduce in the wild. Reporter UC Berkeley Tyrone B. Hayes, professor of integrated biology. These male frogs are missing testosterone and all the things that testosterone controls, including sperm. So their fertility is as low as 10% in some cases. And that is only if we isolate those animals and pair them with females, he said. In an environment where they are competing with unexposed animals, they have 0 chances of reproducing. The 10% or more that turn from male into female, something not knowing to occur under natural conditions in amphibians, can successfully mate with male frogs, but because these females are genetically male, all their offspring are male. So, well, as he said, the reason there's so many gay people is now because of chemical warfare. Well, atrazine, the difference between a conspiracy to control population and a just unconscious poisoning of humans is, well, let's just take a look. Toxic PFAS chemicals have been detected in 7 out of 10 insecticides tested in the US, according to new research. 6 contain what the study's lead author characterized as extremely high levels of PFOS, one of the most dangerous PFAS compounds. The Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, has known about the findings for more than 18 months, but appears to have not yet investigated the products or taken any action against the manufacturers. Has known about the findings. Okay, so it's conscious, and they're not doing anything about it. Well, that points again towards that. Once they're conscious of it and they know of an evil and they're not fixing it, that is a true evil. Study links in utero forever chemicals exposed to low sperm counts and mobility. A new peer-reviewed Danish study finds that mothers exposed to toxic PFAS, forever chemicals, during early pregnancy can lead to lower sperm count and quality later in her child's life. PFAS, I'm not going to try to say that word, are known to disrupt hormones and fetal development, and future reproductive capacity is largely defined as testicles develop in utero during the first trimester of a pregnancy, says studies co-author Sandra Sogart Totenberg, or of the Copenhagen University Hospital. It makes sense that exposure to substances that mimic and interfere with the hormones involved in the delicate process can have consequences for semen quality later in life. PFAS are a class of about 12,000 chemicals typically used to make thousands of products resistant to water, stains, and heat. They are called forever chemicals because they accumulate in humans and the environment and do not naturally break down. A growing body of evidence links them to serious health problems such as cancer, birth defects, liver disease, kidney disease, and decreased immunity. Well, what can we do as men to mitigate this issue? Well, I seriously believe that we can mitigate these issues by eating more meat, healthy meat. And I do believe that we are what we eat, and this world needs more benevolent predators. When you eat meat, you're going to have more masculine energy, and it's going to push more of that sperm production. If you eat more vegetables, it's going to push more of the feminine passivity. And I suggest it's not going to be as good, especially considering that in these pesticides and herbicides and other toxins that are all over your vegetables is going to lower your sperm count. If we want this to heal and we have to stop or mitigate as many of these forever chemicals exposure to our body as possible. And people be like, what? Aren't animals going to have forever chemicals? Well, yes, they will still have some in them. That's a for sure thing, as we have them in us after we eat these vegetables. However, the liver in the animal is going to mitigate and filter many of these chemicals and even neutralize a lot of these chemicals. So when you're eating healthy and even organic, non-chemically fed animals, then you're going to have a better chance of mitigating these chemicals for sure. And another thing we can do is start to use things like elk velvet. You know, this stuff here is naturally boosts sexual performance, contains high levels of hormones. This leads to an increase of circulating free testosterone, increases sex drive, or boosts one's libido. So, you know, that's something that I think we should do. And another thing that we can do as men which is actually a very powerful spiritual thing also, is semen retention. And that just means not to use up our chi. You know, it doesn't mean don't masturbate. It means you can use masturbation in a spiritual way to boost your chi without climaxing. And we can also, I think it's important for us to practice masculine arts, like punching a punching bag, or even watching masculine arts can kind of pump up that, like watching UFC or watching people do those kind of, those fighting things that pumps up those juices in our body. Another thing we can do is we should be around attractive females. We should be around females we're attracted to, and also I think it's very important is to be around women that are attracted to us, because we're going to feel that energy, and we're going to feel that those chemical reactions that happen between a man and a woman, and that's going to help push our testosterone. It's going to help push our semen, all of that. And I think that as we start to respect sex more and see it as a super spiritual act, then we're going to be given more power through our sex. And that's where a lot of our power comes from, is having that dragon on a chain. It's having a healthy sex life, which means for me, this is my choice. I don't want to have sex with women that I will not trust to have a child with. That's going to be my level of virtue I want to hold myself to. And I suggest people find their own truth around sexuality. So I've talked about what we can do to boost our semen content and to boost our testosterone and boost those energies in ourselves. But what else can we do? Well, we should probably mitigate as much plastic packaging as possible, and definitely do not heat up plastic. Like, don't put it in the microwave and heat it up. You're releasing those chemicals into your food. We have to just be a little more obvious, or be a little more conscious of all the ways that we eat and all the ways that we cook. And maybe, we should start to do some investigations, and are these Teflon pans and stuff like that, these novel things that we're cooking with, are those actually good for us, or are those releasing chemicals in us that are messing with us? Do I believe that there's a conspiracy to emasculate men and even to turn people gay so that they don't reproduce? I think, yes, there is. From my opinion, I think there's a conscious effort to do these kind of things to the world. I do believe that this blah, blah in the arm that people So, all you men out there, let's become studs. In the Bible, they talk about a time where women won't need anything from a man. And at that time, good, strong men will have 7 women. And I almost see that world coming true. I do believe that there's been virtues that women have seen in men, like being able to succeed in capitalism, which what we've learned is the cartelism and the capitalism that we live amongst. The ones that were the most sociopathic and most evil became the best at the game. The ones that could turn a blind eye to the evils that they were doing to make tons of money were the ones that did the best. So is it a virtue for a person to have done really well in this world? I'd say most of the time not. And the new world is going to know what true virtue is. And it's based in a connection with God. It's based in a truth in themselves. And it's based in a true way of running business and capitalism where we could tell each other exactly what we're doing because we know it's right. We don't have to avoid a truth in ourselves. We're going to have a new world where we can have proper capitalism, not this cartelism, this satanic capitalism that is taking control of this world. So all you men that have been truthful and lived their truth and were not bullied away from your masculinity and were not bullied into this vaccine, man, you are way more valuable than you think. Much love and God bless.